Hi there, listeners. This is DJ Mickey Bunce. Welcome to the spring edition of my new podcast. I'm currently walking through some fields near my house, as I have been for the last few weeks, taking my daily ration of exercise as permitted by the UK government. It was on such a walk a couple of days ago that I got to thinking, what is this coronavirus? What is COVID-19? Why are people wearing face masks in supermarkets? And is there any possible solution? I did a lot of searching on the internet and soon realized that nobody really knew what was going on. No one knew why. I soon found a man called Bob Norris who works for the World Health Organization. I'd never heard of it. Apparently, it's also called the WHO, which interestingly spells who, which is precisely what I was asking myself when I heard of it. Was this just another half-baked American association, probably dreamt up in some university in Tucson or Tampa, and perhaps in the Tampa Bay Technical College or the Tucson Scientific Academy? No. That wasn't what it was. The World Health Organization apparently is a respected global authority on health. So who better to talk to us about this virus than one of its eminent members, Bob Norris, who did a TED Talk earlier this year. So let's hear from Bob himself, and I'm sure you'll find this extremely useful.
Speaking to you from the Pennsylvania State University, World Health Organization fellow and virologist Bob Norris talks to you about his subject, COVID-19. Welcome to TED Talks.
Hello there. My name is Bob Norris. I've been working in the World Health Organization for over 64 years. And I'm going to start this presentation by giving you a story that is seemingly unrelated to the subject that you came here to listen to. Why? Because that's just what I'm supposed to do for TED Talk. It'll engage you and keep you at the edge of your seat. And then later, you'll realize why I told that story. And realize that it was indeed a very profound statement. I was driving along the Free State Highway in my car with my wife, and we drove past a badger. The badger was sat on the side. Yes, we do have badgers here. The badger was sat on the side of the road, but I didn't know why. I turned to my wife and I said, "Beth, why is there a badger there?" She just looked at me blankly and shrugged her shoulders. She didn't know why there was a badger there. We drove on and we stopped at a gas station to fill up. Moments later, I saw another badger on the side of the road. It was just sitting there, just like the other badger. Again, I didn't know why it was there. Now, you see, that badger was very much like COVID-19. It was here and there, but we didn't know why. Now, I'm going to show you a graphic which explains COVID-19. Here you have the state of Iowa. And these dots that are filling the screen represent cases of coronavirus. The blue dots represent COVID-19. The red dots represent coronavirus. The yellow dots represent hot dog stands throughout the state. The black dots represent cases of viruses that are yet to be discovered. The red and white polka dot dots represent, what do they represent, Jake? Okay. They represent suitcases. No. Sorry, new cases of the virus. Which virus? COVID-19. Now what this tells us is the virus is not in just one place. The virus is in lots of places, a whole bunch of places throughout the state. Now if we look at these other graphics, here's Florida. Much the same thing. Here's California. Very similar. And here's Nebraska. Not quite the same, but pretty similar. And what this tells us again is that the virus did not just stay in Iowa. The virus spread across several states. In fact, across all the United States of this great nation. Now, when I say spread, I don't mean spreading like, how you spread peanut butter jello on a slice of bread. And I don't mean, spreading how you might spread some pate on a cracker. Or even how you spread a tablecloth on a dining table. No, I mean spreading in the sense that it multiplicates, duplicates.
Bob is the guy. He knows his stuff. And another guy who knows his stuff is this guy.
Quintuplicates and sextuplicates across lots of places, a whole bunch of them. Now, this tells me, and it told a whole bunch of my colleagues at the WHO, that COVID-19 was indeed a virus that spread. Now, this statement may shock you. It certainly shocked me. It hit me between the eyes like a wiener being thrown out of a B-17 bomber. A frozen wiener landing right between the eyes. But what did it tell you? It tells you that we're right. That this virus spread. What had happened in the rest of the world? God only knows. It doesn't matter.
Well, fascinating stuff there, I'm sure you'd agree.
What I can tell you right here.
Bob Norris. I'm sure he'll become a great friend of the show, and we'll have him back another time. Bob himself declined an interview, saying he was just far too busy. I also tried to get in touch with Ted himself, see if he could come on the show, but I couldn't find his contact details anywhere. So if anybody knows Ted or how to get in touch with him, do get in touch with us. But time now for something completely different. Today we have another expert in his field. His name is Charlie Huang, and he is a Chinese chef. Charlie's here because he's brought something very special with him. Charlie, you have got something there that is quite intriguing. Now, would you like to share with us what you've got here?
Yeah, so here I brought for you some dim sum in a basket, a traditional bamboo basket. Here it is here, and it's containing some dumpling for you.
It's incredible. Yeah, Jacqueline has something very similar to this in the bathroom. She keeps all her little miniatures in that she steals from hotel rooms. Little soaps, little conditioners and body lotions and moisturizers, and they never get used, but they're always in there. Anyway, this looks very similar to that sort of vessel, but you're telling me that you actually cook the food inside this basket.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Fascinating. That is fascinating. And it's made of bamboo. Bamboo. Well, there you go. I'm learning something every day on this show, guys. That's the joy of radio, and podcasts, of course. Anyway, Charlie, I've been challenged by my wife Jacqueline to consume something that I would not normally consume, and she seems to have hit the nail on the head here, because you've got here a wooden basket.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. We cook it in a basket. It's a traditional way of cooking, and we put the dumpling inside, and it cooks it very well, and makes it very healthy.
Okay, so if you could just describe these as you lift the lid off.
Okay, so what I got here is a traditional pork and prawn dumpling.
What is that? What is that?
Is very traditional, eaten all over China.
It's kind of like so let me just describe what I'm seeing here, listeners. So these are around the size of a kiwi fruit, or smaller than a kiwi fruit. They are white in color. They look slightly slimy. Can I touch it?
Yeah, sure. Touch it.
Goodness.
Touch it. It's good.
This is food.
That's right,
Charlie. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it without sounding, I don't want to be disrespectful. This kind of looks like a kind of albino Cornish pasty.
Cornish pasty.
It's kind of got that zigzaggy seam along the top.
Yeah.
Looks like it's kind of been crimped, I think is the term. But it's very small and white. So you open these up and you scoop out the inside. Is that?
You don't open it up. You just put it in your mouth.
Okay.
All of it in your mouth. Yeah.
And what's in these, Charlie? Just go through the ingredients for us again.
Okay, Mike. So you got pork. Pork.
Like the wine, the strong wine.
Yeah. Pork, like the pig.
Pork. Okay.
And you got prawn.
Prawn
with minced prawn.
Pork with prawn.
Yeah, prawn.
The sea creature.
Yeah, it go very well together.
Prawn. Okay, pork and prawn. Well,
and then we got some spring onion, some garlic, and some ginger.
Great.
And just a little bit of rice wine to bind it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie. Let's take this then.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna lift this up in my fingers. It feels kind of as it looks. It feels slightly slug-like. It's hot.
Have a little dip and eat it.
Okay. Well, down the hatch. Here you go, Jacqueline.
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's very hot.
Mike.
Very hot.
Eat it. Oh. Eat it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. That is.
Yeah, you're lying, yeah.
That is
delicious, right?
That's interesting. That's delicious, Charlie.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing that in.
Okay.
Charlie Hyung there, fantastic little guy, brought his little box of tricks in with him, and I did try his dumplings. I can't be completely honest and say that I love them. I won't be going out later to buy some, but certainly opened my eyes. Pork and prawn, I could not really expect that. She's certainly a hard taskmaster. That was recorded a few weeks ago, after my wife Jacqueline challenged me with not eating very adventurously, and I certainly showed her. I'm sure there'll be a few more items like that in the future. And by the way, Charlie wanted me to mention his restaurant, and get this, great name, Walk's New Pussycat, down in Farringdon, London, is doing some special offers on his special food. Just quote the discount code Special Fried Bunce on ordering, and they'll give you a very generous 10% discount. Okay, so next up, we've got a regular item on the podcast called Health Chat, which is going to explore the best ways to keep healthy in these trying times. Health Chat. So this time on Health Chat, we've got a truly inspirational lady from California. Her name is Amanda Jeremiah Lopez, but she may be better known to you as Amanda Life. She's a bit of a guru when it comes to health food, and some of the things she's got to say are really inspirational. I got in touch with her over a Skype call earlier this week, so do forgive the poor sound quality. Hi, Amanda. Amanda, can you hear me? I'm not quite au fait with these video conferences. I can see Amanda, but I can't hear her. Amanda, she's talking very animatedly about something. Okay, here it is.
And that's when I realized it was living in my colon the whole time.
Hi,
Oh.
Amanda. Sorry, I didn't catch any of that. I had you on mute by mistake.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm glad I've got you anyway. It's great to have you on the show, Amanda.
It's great. It's really great to be here.
It's great to have you, and thanks for joining us at such short notice. And
Thank you for having me on the show.
so perhaps you could just walk us through your daily routine, your tips, your recipes of success.
I'd be delighted. Yeah. So I'm currently in LA, downtown LA.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of work for my blog and for my Instagram, and
Yeah, I've seen it, Amanda Life.
it really is so interesting at the moment because people are really engaging with me and they're learning so much about what I can do for them and for their lives. And I really think that there's a silver lining to this cloud, you know? And I think people are starting to realize that social media really can make a difference to people's lives daily, and it's really changing the world. And that's what I'm trying to do every day. I've been doing that. It's been my life for the past, 6 years or so.
6 years, really? Is that right? I only just joined Instagram myself. I'd always shied away from it, but I can totally see what you mean. For some reason, I keep seeing people in Indonesia or somewhere making ice cream into sort of cones. Another one is a guy that comes on and talks to me about how I can improve my fitness, and he always tries to sell me something, but So what I was really interested in, Amanda, were your incredible recipes, and obviously your physical condition is quite impressive. So perhaps you could just walk us through some of your recipes and...
So I'm going to go through a few of my recipes with you. You can check out my Instagram, Amanda Life. I'm always updating regularly and try to keep people up to date. And you can go to the website to find lots of recipes and my blogs. But really, it's super easy to get healthy. All you've got to do is get a few ingredients and make a real change to what you're putting in your body.
Yeah. My wife Jacqueline has started making me smoothies every morning, which are sometimes delicious, but I have to say, usually a little bit unpalatable. She likes to put grated walnuts in them, and also sometimes sort of last night's casserole. She says it's very good for me, but I'm not so sure. But I think just as important as a smoothie is your routine, right? If you get up right, if you get up in the right frame of mind, you can. It really makes a difference. So what's your routine?
I start every day with some yoga, and then I do some asphyxiation exercises. That's basically with my head immersed in a bucket of iced tea.
Right.
Mixed with a little bit of goat urine.
Goat urine.
And I like to do that for about 4 minutes every morning. At about 4 a.m. and then I'll get up and I start my exercises. And it really centers me, and it gives me so much more calmness and makes me feel really good and sets me up for the day. And then I'll go into my food preparation area. I don't have a kitchen because I just feel it's a very archaic way to view food preparation, and it's too tied up in kind of female oppression. So I don't call it a kitchen. I just call it a food preparation area or zone.
Yeah, Jacqueline said that a few times, so that's why she always seems to order the same delivery.
I go into my FPZ at around 5:30.
Do you have a smoothie, Amanda?
Now, my real go-to smoothie is this one, and I'll prepare a smoothie like this. This smoothie, I've just been drinking some now, and I'm going to send some to you by post, Mike.
Right, yeah, it looks delicious.
If you're interested.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Amanda. Thank you. Yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah. Okay. Along with some instructions on how to make it. But let's just walk you through the ingredients. So what I've got here is a smoothie.
Looks chunky.
Now, it's a non-blended smoothie. I've gone non-blended.
Right.
Because I'm trying to cut down on my carbon footprint. So I don't actually use any electrical appliances to blend this smoothie. It's just simply a straight-up smoothie with raw ingredients. And what I've got here, I'm putting in some chopped kale. I'm putting in some beetroot, okay? Some chia seeds, okay? And then some pure water. And I've got some goat's semen.
Semen?
Yeah.
Goat semen.
Yeah. Okay. Now I've got a friend out in Sacramento. My great friend Howard, who's out in Sacramento, has been milking these goats every day for the last 3 years. Now, he of course, milking, he really means, masturbating the goats.
Yes.
But, we don't like to use that term because it's kind of icky. So he milks the goats, and you really get a real sense of the happiness and the joy and the power contained in that, because he keeps his goats so happy.
Great.
And he's always making them very happy.
Lucky goats, I say.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Every morning he goes and pleasures them, and he gets a lot of results from that, and a lot of yield from his goats.
Okay, that's so interesting.
So I put about a quart cup of goat semen, goes in there, okay?
Okay.
And I've got a little bit of matured oak leaf.
It's just oak leaves.
Well, it's matured organic oak leaf dust. And what this is it's really beautiful ingredient. It looks slightly brown in color, and what you get is you gather some oak leaves. It's got to be oak from a really ancient, beautiful tree, and you basically put them in any kind of container and leave them for about 6 months. And what happens to these oak leaves? They mature to this beautiful state, and really you can just crumble them up in your hands. But when you mix them together with other ingredients, you can really get a sense of the beauty and the age and the power of the oak tree come straight through. Yeah. I actually sent you a picture of that in the email, Mike, that you received earlier.
Yeah, let me just open that up here. Okay, oh, yep, I've got it. Okay, yeah, it kind of looks like soil.
Yeah, that's right. Just oak leaves and time. And that's the thing. Nature does its job, and it's a really beautiful thing, and it tastes amazing. And you just crumble that in. Next up, we got some Portuguese wafer.
Portuguese wafer?
Yeah, that's right, Portuguese wafer. Now, I'm not sure why it's called Portuguese wafer. So super easy to make. I've got a recipe on my website, my blog, mandolife.com. And
it looks delicious. It kind of looks a little bit like one of those Kit Kats. The inside of a Kit Kat. Okay, so what is that?
All it is some common seaweed sheets, which you can purchase in most health food stores. And you lay it out flat.
Right, yes.
Okay. And then you dust it with a little bit of bee pollen.
Yeah.
Okay, bee pollen. And then you just brush on some menstrual fluids, yeah.
Menstrual fluids? You mean like ladies' soup?
And then brush that on a nice even layer.
Menstrual fluids?
Yeah, menstrual fluids, yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean...
Auntie Flo, on the rag. I always refer to it as code red.
Okay.
Just because you need to be in a state of alarm. But a friend of mine calls it surfing the crimson wave, which I find is quite amusing. My brother always calls it having the painters in, which can be kind of confusing because he is a bit of a DIY buff. He likes to do a lot of painting himself. But interestingly, a good friend of mine who lives in Belgium, and he speaks about 4 languages, and he says that the Danes call it "there are communists in the funhouse," and in Germany, would you believe, they call it "the cranberry woman is coming," which is wonderful, beautiful. Anyway, but
it's been used for centuries. Women across the world have been consuming this for centuries, thousands of years across the world, and ancient culture has really valued it as a great source of nutrition. It's just packed full of micronutrients and nanonutrients and macronutrients and all sorts of nutrients, and it's super good for you. I mean, I can't believe how great it is for you, how good you feel.
Right, so, well, I'll take your word for it. And you use your own fluids? Is that quite difficult to acquire those, or?
Yeah, well, I don't actually use my own. I've got a good friend.
Right. Okay.
I've got a good friend, Gwyneth, who lends me
her
fluids every month, and
right.
She's got a stock of it in her freezer.
Well, that's wonderful. I guess you could keep it in ice cubes. Jacqueline does that with pea and ham soup. I don't know why she stores such small portions of it. I think she likes to use it for dinner parties.
And you can freeze it. That's the thing. It's so super easy to use and so super easy to store. And I just love it. And I store it in the freezer, and I can get it out when I'm ready. But her fluids are so much better than mine. I don't know why. She's just got such an energy, and they're kind of spicy in flavor. Her fluids. So I really do like those. Mine just don't seem to have quite the same punch.
That's interesting. I would have thought I had you down as a lady who would have very punchy menstrual fluids, Amanda. I imagine Jacqueline's fluids probably taste like gin and rich tea biscuits. That's what she seems to consume most of these days, but probably not the worst taste in the world.
But I think it just varies from person to person, or woman to woman, of course.
Yeah.
I just brush a little bit of the menstrual fluids on the seaweed, okay? And then you just repeat that process.
Right.
You just get another layer of seaweed, okay?
Lay it on.
And then lay it on top.
Okay.
Brush it with a bit more menstrual fluids.
Right.
And lay some more seaweed on top. And just repeat that process again and again until you've got this beautiful layered cake-like slab of seaweed and fluids. And it's such a beautiful thing. And you just let it dry and harden up in the fridge or just anywhere cool. And then what you can do is you can cut it up into little chunks, have it as a really useful snack, or you can just break it up and put it in a smoothie like I'm doing here. And I'll have this about 3 or 4 times a day. Yeah, and it really increases my energy.
I bet it does, Amanda. And is that everything in the smoothie? Or?
And then the last ingredient in the smoothie is just piss water.
Piss water?
Peace.
Piss water?
Peace water. No, not piss water. Yeah, peace water. So this is amazing. I learned this from my guru, Shanti, a couple of years ago at a retreat out in Malibu. And this is just purified water, and you keep it in a cup that means a lot to you. And it's got to have a lot of spiritual meaning to you, the cup or the glass or whatever it is. But you put the water inside, and then you do a 2-hour meditation next to it. It takes on the energy and the peace that you've expelled from your body during the meditation. And the water is just incredible. The taste is so pure. It's completely tasteless, but you can feel a change when you have it. And you add that to the smoothie. And then you're set up for the rest of the day. And that's my go-to. That's my go-to Amanda Life smoothie. It's non-blended. I'm making sure that I'm not using electricity, of course, as I said. I'm just really, really conscious, especially now with the coronavirus, that we need to save energy. We need to save on...
Well, every little helps.
Carbon.
Right.
And, that should help.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, Amanda. Thank you. Energy is important, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, Jacqueline likes to switch the dishwasher off. She doesn't use it. She only uses it once a month. And it makes me do all the washing up. She says it makes my hands soft.
Exactly. You've got to try these things. And what I like to do is, if you contact me, I will sign you up to my newsletter. And then if you just pay $16 per month for a minimum of 6 months, it's a 6-month sign up.
Okay, yeah. How much did you say?
$16 a month.
Right.
For recipes, advice, and tips that I can send to you, personalized into your email. And it's really I've got over 345,000 subscribers so far, and it's just beautiful. I have such an amazing community of people. I'm friends with every single last one of them, and
345,000. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, Amanda, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'd love to have you back again.
I'd love to, Mike. I'd love to.
It's been incredibly enlightening, and I'm sure I'm gonna be trying out some of your recipes later. I'll be talking to Jacqueline later about the Portuguese wafers for sure. And I'm sure we could all make a big difference to ourselves and the world if we all followed your recipes and your way of life.
Yeah, that's right.
It's inspiring. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, what have you got for the rest of the day? What are you up to?
Thank you so much. I'm just going to go down to the farm later.
The goat masturbation farm?
That's right. I'm going to go over to Howard's, the goat farmer, and we're going to do some milking together. It's going to be really beautiful, and hopefully I'll send you some of that in the post too, Mike.
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, just put it in an unmarked envelope. Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you, Amanda. I'm going to sign off now.
Okay.
It's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vishnu.
Amanda there, from Amanda Life. What a woman. I mean, quite inspirational. And some of those recipes are interesting. So maybe we could all learn a thing or two. And that pretty much wraps up this episode of my podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Next week we'll have more of the same, plus a little bit of, we'll have some archive material from my late night radio show, Bunce Castle. So that's something to look forward to. But so thank you so much for listening, and do tune in later. This is Mike Bunce.